What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a wonderful day today. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Masterverse New Eternia Too Bad. Too Bad is an awesome figure. He's always been an awesome figure, so I'm excited to get him pulled out of the box and check him out and see what Masterverse has done with them. They've been doing some really cool stuff with their figures, especially the New Eternia line. So I'm really expecting a lot with this guy. And from what I can see in the package, I mean, I should be expecting a lot. He looks great. So first impressions, amazing sculpt. It looks like he comes with a ton of different accessories. So I think all of this is pretty cool, pretty good stuff. We're gonna flip it around to the side. We just got Too Bad, double-headed evil strategist. When we hit this side over here, we've got a kind of just, you know, some comic style artwork, not comic, but Motu style artwork of Too Bad there, and I think that's a really awesome picture. You can see here I got a damaged box, unfortunately, but I'm ripping him out of the box anyway. I normally keep the boxes because I like the artwork on them, but honestly I have just pitched so many of them over the last week because I just don't have space for a bunch of empty boxes. It just makes no sense to keep them sitting around and taking up as much space as they're taking up. So if you are a collector, you know what I'm talking about. So here in the back, really cool artwork of Too Bad. It's got this little cross cell. We'll take a picture of that and we'll post it up closer so you can read it if you want to. Really cool octopus looking thing coming out of the ground over here. We got Evil Lyn, Frosta, Roboto, and Stratos also available in this wave. And unfortunately, I do not have any of these four characters, and it's bugging the heck out of me. They're not in the stores. They're hard to find. Stratos is super hard to find. He's like the best I've seen is like $80 on eBay for Stratos, and I feel like that's just a crazy amount for Stratos. I mean, Stratos was never a you know, like a top-notch kind of a #1 collected guy. He was always just kind of the peg warmer, so it just really blows my mind that he's going for $80 right now. But yeah, so this is the back of the box, and we're gonna spin him back around this way and get him cut out. Alright, before we go over the articulation, we'll jump into the accessories. He did come with fist hands for both sides, the blue and the purple side of Too Bad. So that's pretty cool. Kind of throws it back to the vintage style. They both did come with their own style of mace. Both really cool. We've got one in green for Tuvar and one in purple for Badra, which is who creates Too Bad here. Really cool, and you could put those in either hand if you want. They're not specifically designated. And then we also have a sword and a battle axe here. Pretty cool detail on the shield. I didn't mean to say sword. We have a shield and a battle axe here. Kind of a metallic orange looking on the shield. Double dragon insignia there, it looks like, on the, or maybe it's a dragon and a bird on the center of the shield. Really cool looking little shield. And then yeah, it's the same thing that's here at the top. So pretty cool. Definitely did a cool thing with the design on this stuff. They got the little white wrap around the handle. I like when they put a wrap around the handle and don't just leave it all the same color. Just little things like that. We don't have to blast it totally, but just little things like that, just to kind of separate pieces, goes a long way, and I like it a lot. When it comes down to Too Bad himself, he's a pretty sweet guy. He's definitely bigger than some of the other figures that we've got in the line. Actually, most of the other figures that we've got in the line, especially if you're measuring to the top of his head here. But let's go ahead and go over the articulation. It's going to be pretty much the same on both sides as far as the arms and legs go, and heads as well, but we'll go ahead and move both heads around just so you can see. This one does look like it sits a little lower. I mean, it's definitely sitting a little lower, but also closer to the body, so it might affect how he turns his head a little bit. So all right, he can't go to the left, he can go to the right, he can look down really well, and he can look up really well. So Badra's side is really good. Let's go ahead. He can look to the left, he can look to the right, he can look down really well as well, and he can look up really well. So we'll kind of get them looking at each other like they're arguing. And the arms will go all the way up and rotate all the way around. We do have a bicep swivel here that will rotate all the way around. Double jointed elbow. Swivel at the wrist, as well as a hinge. His hinge is pretty stiff, but it should work in and out. We'll try his side over here. It might be also that arm guard blocking it a little bit. Yeah, we're getting a little bit more rotation with this side. As far as his diaphragm cut, he can go back, he can go forward, and he party boys to the side. Waist, that's going to rotate. It's messing up his belt though, so I would be careful with that because you don't want to have his belt spinning all over the place. Legs, wow, he can do a really good split. Almost clear horizontal. Does he have the drop down hips? No, he doesn't. He just has really snappy hips. He has the thigh cut here on both legs. It's going to allow him to spin all the way around. Double jointed knees. He does have a boot cut, as well as a hinge at the ankle and a ball joint. So really posable figures. These guys, you know, they're always really posable. Get them kind of looking at each other here. So I'm going to go ahead and get him set up with his armor, and we'll bring in a couple other comparison characters and just kind of scale him up size-wise. All right, we got him posed up as best we could here. As far as his right gripping hand goes, that is some really hard plastic. I'm gonna have to put this in some really hot water. The peg won't move here, so the wrist won't rotate, as well as the grip is too tight for any of the weapons. No matter what I tried, and no matter how hard I pushed, none of the weapons would fit into the grip of the gripping hand here. So I'm going to have to soak this in hot water and try to pry that out a little bit. It actually started peeling the tape off of the axe, or not the tape, but the paint of the tape or the wraps just started peeling off. So I'm almost going to have just one solid color axe. So it's actually funny that I commented on that, because the paint is all peeled off of basically half of it from trying to put it in this hand. So know that when you get this guy, that his weapon might not fit in here, and if you try to force it, any of the handles that have paint on them are going to peel. And then his gun handle would not fit in here either. It wasn't even close. It's even thicker than the mace by a little bit. So I just chose to pose the weapons up in diorama fashion here with him, and I swapped this out with the punching fist, kind of like they're about to have an argument with each other, it looks like. So I thought that was kind of a cool way to set them up and utilize that fist, kind of give it that vintage feel, and still be able to use the mace with the other guy. As far as comparisons go, I'm going to bring him down here off of the block, and we have to realize that his knees are bent a little bit, but just for a basics of size comparison here, we have He-Man. So that's probably not going to work because they're not on the same level there. So you can tell he is a much bigger figure than He-Man. And I thought Clawful was a bigger figure than He-Man was as well, but he's not. He's the same buck as He-Man. He just has a different chest sculpt because of the shell here. So I thought he was a bigger figure, but he's not. Too Bad is definitely a different league of figure. He's got a bigger mold. His arms are bigger. His legs are bigger. Obviously, his waist and torso are bigger. So completely different size character. And that's really cool because they took two people that were kind of big alien-like people anyway, joined them together and created him. So I feel like it's cool that he's a little bit bigger. And I like the way that they've done everything with him, except for the fact that none of Tuvar's weapons will fit in his hand. But we're going to try to remedy that with some hot water. So I'll leave down in the comments if I can get it stretched out and get that weapon or gun placed in his hand appropriately. But as far as him, I give him 2 thumbs up. I think he's a super cool character. I really like the monster or beast type characters in the He-Man line. I always have. Those have always been some of my favorites. I've always liked the bad guys. They always had the coolest figures, I thought, instead of just, I don't know, the good guys were just all kind of basic, where you've got really cool stuff like this going on over on the bad guys team. So I don't know, I was just always kind of drawn to that. But He-Man was my favorite. All in all, as far as all around, He-Man was always my favorite. But then I did like some of the bad guys. So we'll go ahead and get these guys pulled out of here. Excuse me. Fortunately, he stands really well. Watch as I say that. But yeah, he seems to stand up really well. He's got bigger feet, so a little bit wider platform to stand on. I think they did a really great job with him. And one thing I guess I forgot to show around here on the back, he does have this on the back of his armor plate, so that will hold the axe. And I'll try to spin it around here, see where all the paint has worn off. So I guess it's not half, but it's a good little chunk of the paint that is definitely scraped off of the axe from trying to get it in his hand. And then it's scuffed up on this side too. Maybe if I put it this way, it'll just look better for posing purposes, right? Can't see any of that torn up spots. But yeah, I think he's a really cool character. I like how this guy has a boot on. This guy's just got the barefoot with the ankle bracers. So they just did a really great job. His little scales, the wash, and how his skin's like a different type of skin altogether. They did a great job on him. Really happy with this guy. What do you guys think of Too Bad? Let me know down in the comments, who's your favorite villain? Is it Too Bad? Is it Clawful? Trapjaw's probably my favorite, so he's not an extra large character or anything. He's just an extra awesome character. So let me know down in the comments, who's your favorite evil villain of the Motu universe? And we can include the Horde. If your evil villain happens to be in the Horde, it's okay. You can put those guys down in the comments as well. Don't forget to tell someone you love them. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn your notifications on so you're up to date on all the new stuff, part of the community, so you don't miss out on any of the posts or shorts or anything like that. I've been trying to get a lot more involved in the community posts and sharing stuff as far as that goes. I was unaware how that worked until recently, so giving it a try. I want to thank all you guys for your support, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless.